Hi everyone and welcome to today's morning report on Friday the 26th of June with me, Rich Perry, market analyst at Handtech Markets. European trading session, bit mixed at the open. Equities generally are just starting to slide away. We had a bit of selling pressure into the close on Wall Street last night. Asian markets also touched lower, and European markets have also reacted with a bit of selling pressure. Interesting that we've also seen that the FTSE is starting to react fairly negatively. Seems to be underperforming. Certainly the DAX today, FTSE down 0.8%, DAX down 0.3%. So interesting underperformance on the FTSE. But generally speaking, the Forex markets are fairly flat, fairly cautious. These negotiations on Greece are not going anywhere. They haven't come up with a resolution yet. Angela Merkel is saying that they need to do so by the weekend, or they're going to really struggle to get the ratification through the parliaments next week. So there's a lot of pressure on these politicians now to get the job done. I mean, the markets seem to be fairly cautious, but seem to be fairly sort of, I don't know, taking it in their stride, really. I mean, the markets are flat in terms of, I mean, the bund yields are sort of settling down. Also, Forex markets are also fairly cautiously flat as well. That's the dollar index, pretty much across all the major currencies. They're fairly neutral. Not a great deal of direction we're getting in the last few days. So markets are settling in for the decision, whether it's either sort of one way or the other. And I think we're not going to find out until Monday. And I think today could well be a bit of a non-event day, unless you get some sort of announcement coming out of these meetings. But I think it could well be a bit of a non-event day. You've got the Michigan sentiment. It's the only real bit of data that we've got to look forward to today. That Michigan sentiment is a final reading of the original reading, which was 94.6. The flash reading 94.6. So that final bit of data, again, unlikely to do a great deal this afternoon. So I think it's going to be sort of a fairly quiet bit of trading day today, certainly on the Forex markets front anyway, unless we do get some sort of announcement out of Greece. So that takes me to my chart of the day, which is the Euro Yen. And Euro Yen, I spoke about this a few times in the last few weeks, with this breakout of the big base pattern, the move above 130, say 137 figure, big breakout above that resistance. And subsequently, I said that with the RSI moving overbought, it was likely to sort of start to come back and have a bit of a pullback. It's taken a while, but it's almost getting there now. It's sort of been drifting really, but the good thing is it's not seeing any real selling pressure coming through, and you're seeing these momentum indicators nicely unwind. The RSI is back towards almost 50. MACD line still positive. Interesting that we're also seeing the stochastics starting to turn up. Now, we've had a couple of times in the last 2 months, April and May, where the stochastics have turned up, and that's been the signal for a nice bull run. So we could see that happening again. So once those stochastics start to turn up, then we could see that being a bit of a bull signal, because this is an increasingly strong medium to longer term chart now. Although, yes, the longer term sort of 144-day moving average is still falling, so you wouldn't say that it's long-term bullish, but you'd say on a medium-term basis it is certainly encouraging. And this little consolidation pattern we're getting here, I think, ultimately will prove to be a chance to buy. Now, in terms of the near-term chart, this is the hourly chart, and you've got a bit of a downtrend going on here, and you're testing that downtrend now. And you've still got a fairly sort of corrective configuration on these momentum indicators, but I would say that you're now beginning to look out for your buy signals, and you could well see one if you start to break that downtrend, start to see the momentum indicators improving. So I don't think you're a million miles away from getting a buy signal on this Euro Yen chart. So it could well be that we get that soon, and it may well be that positive news on the Greece front could well drive this one higher. So I'm getting ready to be a bull of this one once again. So I wish you good luck in your trading on Euro Yen today, and I will speak to you later.